Eleanor Bath, University of Oxford, United Kingdom.
I'm sure this is a title that you all expected to see here today. I don't know if anyone else's mums used to do this. Is that me? But my mum always used to tell me these stories about how when she was pregnant with me, she used to feel these bursts of irrational rage towards everyone around her. And you know who she used to blame, of course? It was me, her unborn child. So 26 years later, I find myself doing a PhD studying female aggression in flies. Obviously out of a deep-seated desire to prove my mother wrong. But actually it turns out that the science kind of backs mum up. Increased female aggression after mating is surprisingly common across all animals. You find it in mammals, birds, fish. I found even in fruit flies, mated females will fight for twice as long as virgin females over food. And the science behind this, essentially, is that once you've mated, the aim of mating is to produce offspring, which is one thing that evolution and creationists agree on. And when you start eating for 2 or 200, you have to eat a lot more. But just because you're a lot hungrier doesn't mean there's more food available. So to get that food, you need to get aggressive. This is hunger, essentially. So what I decided to do was, because humans have this reluctance to get knocked up and starved for science, I decided to look at in fruit flies. And what you find in fruit flies is that you can create sterile flies that don't produce any eggs, and you see exactly the same result, that mated sterile flies, females, will fight for twice as long as virgin females. So it's not actually eggs that are responsible for this increase in aggression. So what could it possibly be? The next thing we looked at, because you look for it in everything, is sperm. And sperm, it turns out, you do need to increase female aggression after mating. Think about that the next time you're choosing a birth control technique. So if you don't get sperm, these females basically fight like virgins. But a lot more gets transferred other than sperm during mating as well. There are these little proteins called seminal fluid proteins that males transfer. And they can change behavior a lot as well. So there's this one in flies called sex peptide, which actually increases female egg production, reduces her receptivity to remating, so she doesn't mate with anyone else after with him. And I found out it actually is partially responsible for this increase in female aggression. So something that a male is transferring during mating is making his mate more aggressive. So my mum has been blaming the wrong person this entire time.